order for a particular job, a particular work, stitching of a shirt, or maybe stitching of a pair of uniform. That work, the cost is charged for that work. That is a particular nature of that kind of companies or industry. So here each work is the keyword, and work done is actually the basis for cost computation. And they will have separate cost sheet for each work. Maybe they will combine it together to know their performance, but definitely they will have separate cost sheet for each work. Such type of industries will be using job costing method. So first one we were talking about is job costing. Here the keyword which you have to remember is cost is accounted for, or it is accumulated for each work. Each work that is being received by the organization. That is why we said the work done is accumulated on the basis of the particular order. Maybe I went for stitching a pair of uniform. Somebody else went for stitching a pair of maybe a shirt. It varies from customer to customer. So my cost is accumulated, or it is accounted on the basis of my order. That is the particular nature of industries which follow with job costing method, right? Now the second one is batch costing. Batch costing is an extension of job costing. Here, the only difference here is cost is accounted in batches. I've already mentioned this example when we were discussing in the initial part. See here, each batch is being considered when you go with computation of your cost. So each batch means, for example, medicine. Maybe it is produced in batch, and when you look up each packet, you will find that there is the batch number which is written at the back of the product, right? For us to identify the biscuits, the biscuit packet, you will see a batch number. So when the production is happening in batches, the method of costing that is used would be batch costing method. And here the computation is cost of each group or batch, right? So that is the nature. The first one I said, each order, each work. But in case of batch costing, it would be batch is the keyword. The group is the keyword which you have to understand. That's why we say that sometimes when we look at the product which is being available in the maybe in the supermarket, you will see that a product having a particular batch number is charged with maybe 500 rupees, but the same product with another batch number may be charged with 510 rupees. So that is the latest one which they have produced, maybe considering the changes in the cost. So cost for that batch may be little higher looking into the conditions, the market conditions. So that is why we might ask, why the same product being available in different price? So the shopkeeper will ask us to look at whether the batch numbers are same or different. That is it. The cost is computed in batches. So the second one which we learned is batch costing. Now going with the third is contract costing. The keyword which you have to remember is it will be for big projects. The costing method is used for those type of industries whose nature of work is long term, big projects, involvement of huge capital, right? So and as such, maybe some contracts may not be completed in one operating cycle, or maybe in one financial year, that is taken to the next financial year also, that we are going to learn in next semester. How do we go with contract costing? So the basic nature which you have to understand is the cost would be computed for each contract. Maybe one contract to build a bridge, another contract to build a farmhouse. Right. So the cost for building a farmhouse would be prepared separately in a cost sheet. Same as the case, the cost for building a bridge also would be considered separately. That particular person, the contractor, might be having 2 or 3 contracts. He might be running 2 or 3 contracts at a time. Right. So the cost for each is computed separately. So here the basic nature which you have to understand is it's for a long run, right? It might be involving huge amount of money. It may not be completed in the same financial year, right? So that is why separate the cost sheet is maintained for each of this contract. So that is contract costing, and definitely cost is ascertained on the basis of the each contract. Maybe sometimes the credibility of parties will differ, right? Depending on that itself, the cost charged by the contractor also would be varying, right? So there are many factors that will determine the cost factor in a contract costing, in a contract, if you say. Now, the fourth one, so we said about job costing, where work order is the key factor. Then we said about batch costing, where the production is happening in batches. That is the key word. So separately, costs will be computed for each batch. That's the key word. Now going with contract costing, here the key word is cost computed for each contract. It's long term normally, right? And there would be involvement of huge capital. Cost would be computed for each contract separately. Right. So when I'm talking about a construction firm, they might be following a contract costing. When I'm talking about a pharmaceutical company, they might be following batch costing. When I'm talking about maybe a machinery or what do you say, a workshop, they might be called, an automobile workshop, they might be following job costing technique, or a textile, a boutique, or a tailoring unit, they might be following job costing technique. So that is the difference which you have to find when we are talking about methods of costing. Now we are going to discuss about the fourth one, right? Now, fourth one, as you can see, is process costing. Here the key word is production is continuous. It happens as a process. In such industries which go with process costing method, the keyword which you have to remember is production is continuous. It will not stop by producing one. One will become the raw material to the next process. So that is a continuous process. It continues for some time until the final product is manufactured, right? Such unit will have the production process costing method. So that is the end of one process can become raw material for the next process. The best example is paint industry or chemical industry, right? Where they manufacture a particular chemical as a process. So one becoming the raw material for the next process. Such industries will be going with following up process costing method. So each process, the cost of each process is ascertained separately. Finally, it is all summed up to find out the total cost of production of particular category of chemical, if it is a case of a chemical industry. Right. So that is why here the keyword is production happens in process. What you have to understand is production happens in process. Okay. So we said about job costing, batch costing, right? Contract costing, process costing. Now the next one is, which we would be discussing, is unit costing. Now what do we mean by unit costing? Basically, unit costing, here the keyword is you will compute cost per unit. That is very important for you. You're going to compute cost per unit. You might be producing in bulk. Then you will be packing it into, I have put the right example here, which I'm going to share is cement industry. You are producing in bulk, but ultimately you would like to know what should be the price that needs to be charged for one sack, one pack of cement. What should be the price? So you want to know per unit cost. You would like to know. So in that case, what you will do is you will divide the total cost by number of units produced. Number of, let's say, if I'm talking about the quantity wise, how many sacks or how many bags of cement I could manufacture with the total. So that is why unit cost is very important in case of unit costing method. Okay. So when I'm talking about unit costing method, the first thing which I have, which should come into my mind is production and cost assessment per unit is very important, because I am trying to sell that in units. That is a particular nature of industries going with unit costing method. The word itself say the key word is unit cost. Okay. Now going with the sixth one, that is operating costing. Right. So we were talking about job costing, where work order is important. We talked about batch costing, which is an extension of job costing, where each batch cost is ascertained per batch, right? Then we talked about contract costing, which is of no long-term nature, where where cost is ascertained for each contract, right? Then we talked about process costing, where we said production is happening as process. Those industries which are using this method of costing, the particular nature is they consider their production process happens in process. It's a continuous process. The finished product of one process becomes the raw material for the next process, right? So that is the nature of process costing, or the industries which implement process costing method. Now going with unit costing. Here, cost per unit is very important. I said the example of 1 sack of cement, right? I would like to know what is the cost I have to accumulate for 1 sack of cement, which will help me to find the right price at which I have to place my product in the market. How much should I charge for 1 sack of cement? Is it 1,500? Is it 1,250? What should be the price, which is determined on per unit cost of production of that particular unit. So that's why those industries for which the unit cost is important, they will go with unit costing method. Now going with operating costing. See, the basic difference between a service industry and a manufacturing industry is manufacturing industry will definitely have something called as production process, which requires raw materials and other maybe labor and other which can facilitate in the production process. But when we are looking from a service industry, the kind of requirements which is needed in our service industry would be little different from that of a manufacturing industry. So operating costing technique is, operating costing method is something that is used in the service industry. See, for example, as I discussed yesterday, when we were talking about per patient, cost per inpatient in a hospital, or cost per outpatient in a hospital, that is totally dependent upon the kind of service that is rendered to that patient in a hospital. I put another example, passenger per kilometer. So that is totally dependent upon the services availed by that passenger. Maybe his journey from one place to another. What is the cost involved in that? So that is a kind of computation that is based on the nature of or the expenses involved in rendering that particular service to that person. That also depends on many other factors, like does the business he has him as a continuous customer, or do they have some kind of continuous reputation with this firm? There are many factors that will guide them. If he is a continuous customer, if he is a customer who's been transacting with this firm for a longer period, maybe he will charge with a better price for his service, for the service rendered to him. So those are royalty-based services. So likewise, there are many factors that will be dependent on the kind of service and the nature of that particular customer when we look from the perspective of a service industry. So that is actually the basic idea behind operating costing method. Operating costing method is the one method that is followed in service industries for computation of their cost. Right. Now coming with the last one, as the name indicates, some industries, they would be, it will not be possible for them to stick on to one type of costing method. Maybe they require different type of costing method depending on their product requirement. So maybe at one level, at one part, they might require no work to be done on the basis of specific orders. It's not a continuous process. When they receive a business order, then they give an order to a particular industry, maybe a workshop or machinery tool manufacturing industry to manufacture some tools. So for them, that is dependent on number of pieces, number of units based on the work. So there they can go with job costing. And then they go with a continuous process. Once they get that, they might be going with a continuous process of manufacturing. They are assembling, then that is being put into a finished product, right? It is a continuous process. So in that case, they might go with process costing method. So in short, multiple costing technique is a technique where you have number of maybe one or two or three or four costing methods used at a time to bring the right kind of cost ascertainment within your organization. That is purely based on the nature of of the product or services you are dealing with. Purely based on that. So if you use more than one costing method, you call that as a multiple costing method. Right. So we are actually talking from the perspective of how cost is ascertained in different firms. What are the methods that are used by different firms for ascertaining their cost? So we discussed mainly about same 7 methods. First one where we told about job costing method. It's nothing but where here each work order is considered separately and cost is ascertained on the basis of that, and that will be the primary aspect that is guiding your preparation of cost sheet. We do learn that at next semester. How do we go with preparation of cost sheet for a industry that use job costing method? We do that. Then the next one is batch costing. Here the keyword which you have to remember is cost is ascertained in batches, right? And the third one which we learned today is contract costing. You have to remember that each contract would be for a longer period. It might be for implementing a particular project. So the cost ascertainment here is done separately for each contract, right? So that is why there might be a one particular construction firm or one particular contractor might be having different contracts. Maybe one for construction of a house, maybe another for construction of a bridge, right? So each of this will be separately treated, and the nature, the period, the capital involvement may be different from each other, from different from one contract to other. So that is contract costing. Process costing, the keyword which you have to remember is production happens in process. It is continuous. One output, the output of one process will become the input to the next process, will become the input or raw material or the beginning point for the next process. So it's actually sum total of all these becomes that also we are going to learn in the next semester. We will learn how costing or how cost is ascertained when the method applied is process costing. Right, that also we will learn in the next semester. Going with unit costing. The keyword which you have to remember is you need to know cost per unit. So you will follow a method that will help you to find out what is the cost per unit. So generally we know that how do we compute the per unit cost of a particular product, total cost divided by number of units produced, right? Now going with operating costing, this is actually some method that is generally used by service industry, because the nature, the kind of operation a service industry is having will be different from a manufacturing industry. right? And finally, multiple costing technique. Sorry, it's not technique, it is method. Multiple costing method use different costing methods. Can be they will go with, for particular aspect, they go with work order. So job costing method is used. Maybe after that, they go with batch production. So they can go with batch costing method. And finally, they are going with the continuous process of manufacturing, where they would be using process costing. So when you do that, you will call that method as multiple costing method. Right? Now I'm coming to you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. It's your turn. You can ask any doubt connected with what we discussed here or in our previous class. Yeah? Any doubt? Anyone? Okay. So can somebody